Previously on Digimon Seekers. In Chapter 1.13 we accompany Eiji and Lugerman on their train journey to 9th Avenue, where they must use a mapping tool of the area for their SOC entrance exam. However, the interviewer was using MindLink with the Digimon who gave them the mission and at the request of the latter, who claims that for Lugerman this mission may be too easy because he knows 9th Avenue well. The interviewer agrees to raise the level of the exam. Meanwhile, we discover that the Digimon of Wall Slum are all outcasts, so to speak, injured after being used by humans, broken in the process or discarded. These are Digimon who have gathered together and formed this suburb from which they cannot leave, as no Digimon who has come into contact with data coming from the human network. And Wall Slum is affected by this constantly flowing data, will be able to return to the deep digital world, also known as the digital world behind the wall, by order of the Digimon God. The underground where they are, along with 0 Avenue, are the only places where there is a non-aggression pact in force. Something very common in the place as there is a shortage of resources and the Digimon fight over food, territory, etc., with a Digimon acting as a boss controlling each area. Lugerman comes clean with Eiji and admits that he suffers from some kind of memory loss as he only remembers growing up in Wall Slum but nothing else after his rookie stage. But he has a feeling that there is something important for him at 9th Avenue. Digimon Seekers Chapter 1.14. Wall Slum's 9th Avenue. When Eiji stands at the subway exit after going up the stairs, he wants to turn around and go back. Is this another country? A real slum? This is crazy. I'm in danger here. The air is sooty. The first abandoned building was one thing, but this place is something else. If this place was in a tourist guide, it would say, the least secure place on earth, or, don't go near there. What do you call this kind of thing? Kowloon City. Shoei-era Kabukicho. He looks up at the city block from the bottom of a valley of illegal buildings. Kowloon City, a poorhouse that once existed in Hong Kong before the reversion to China, was a slum built by illegal immigrants on land that had been ungoverned by the government. Or the Kabukicho district of Shinjuku in the Shoei era, a sleepless castle with neon signs for restaurants, brothels, hotels, and other establishments. Dens of wickedness. Wall Slum is the boundary between the real world and the digital world. Real information is always flowing in through the network. So, it's constantly changing. And because of that, no one day is the same as the next. Lugerman, what is it? Are you, by chance, very intelligent? Eiji's eyes glaze over. Digimon are intelligent. Then I'll have you help me with the hard stuff. Should I refer to you as my superior, senpai? Quit it. I love you, Lugerman. You're so reliable. If Eiji had a tail, he'd be wagging it. And that's why your dog looked down on you. So, hurry up and get to work. With Lugerman patting him on the back, Eiji launches the tool on his virtual monitor. He initiates the mapping. Now we should just be able to fill in the map by walking around. Mapping this den of vice. If he tried to describe 9th Avenue in words, he would lose his mind. There are no straight streets. Alleys are nothing more than gaps between buildings. The width and direction of the streets are all a mess, and there was clearly no urban planning. There are no restrictions on the floor area ratio, diagonal line restrictions, earthquake resistance standards, or any other legal regulations based on the building standards law. To add insult to injury, not even architectural mechanics seem to exist here. If one were to bring in realistic human sensibilities, one would feel uneasy just by being here and would forever walk around thinking of the inevitable collapse to happen a mere 2 seconds later. If a signboard hanging from a single screw falls, the steel frame over there will snap, and all the buildings around it will collapse like dominoes. Eiji checks the map as he walks around. There are Digimon around here. They're hiding though. He can feel their eyes here and there in the alley. 9th Avenue. It's the worst neighborhood in Wall Slum. Strangers are stripped of their clothes within 50 meters, and by the time they've walked 100 meters, they're dead. It's a scary place. The destination is the heart of 9th Avenue. The Castle of the Nine Wolves. AG and Lugerman continue their work. As a result, they're able to proceed with the mapping without hassle, although that's a bit of a letdown in a way. There are no Digimon to be seen anywhere. It's as if they're in the middle of nowhere. But Lugerman insists there are signs of them around here. A cul-de-sac. There's a tiled-roofed building in a small plaza surrounded by overhanging, ramshackle buildings. It looks more like an imperial house in Chinatown than a castle. That's the Castle of Nine Wolves. So, all we have to do is map that and everything else. AG walks up to the shrine-like building. Lugerman stops. What's wrong, Lugerman? AG had gone ahead of him, but he cannot go too far, because he's in the middle of a hololization. This is my home. Or at least it was. Did you remember something? There's a faint smell. Markings I left behind me. It's me but not me. It's much, much stronger. Then, could it be? AG has an idea. Could it be an evolved version of you? Something's coming. Lugerman turns its nose to the narrow sky between the buildings. A roar. The wind howls. The roar hits the ground and blows away the surrounding garbage data. AG is forced to his knees. Lugerman stomps its feet. What is it? What's coming? A winged monstrosity casts a shadow over the castle. After closing his eyes because of the dust, AG holds up his hand and looks up at the sky with dimmed eyes. A bird. A dragon. No, neither. It's that. It has engines on both wings. It's a machine-type Digimon based on a tilt-rotor aircraft that is capable of vertical takeoff and landing. Cargodramon. Ultimate. Machine. Virus type. On the fuselage, the word, police, is there to intimidate criminals. The Digipolis. AG shouts. The police. What are they doing in Wall Slum? From the hovering Cargodramon, a Digimon from the Digipolis descends from a rope. Cargodramon. The Hellborn squad deploys, quickly securing the base. An alert. At the sound of the alert, AG looks at the map on the virtual monitor. Markers indicating Cargodramon appear in the vicinity of the Castle of the Nine Wolves. That's castles being surrounded. They're demanded that we open voice chat on the Grim channel. AG raises his voice. The operation channel receives a warning from the police. Grim is not a service belonging to any particular company. Even if you don't comply, it won't be an immediate criminal act by itself, but it will mean that you have taken a defiant attitude toward a state power. What to do? That's not the question. The administrator of this operation channel is the interviewer. AG doesn't have the authority to open it. Come on, don't ignore me, you bloody code cracker. Boom. A shrill voice comes from the Cargodramon above. A suffocating voice. A cartoon-like voice. It directly strikes AG's mind-linked sense of hearing. Character design and illustrations by Mallow. The profile of Cargodramon has been added. Cargodramon. Ultimate level, virus attribute, machine type. A Digimon in charge of troop transport for the D Brigade. It was said to have digivolved by incorporating tilt-rotor aircraft design data acquired from the real world via hacking. Possessing exceptional maneuverability, it can both hover and fly at high speeds by adjusting the angle of the propellers on its wings. Cargodramon contains a cargo hold in its fuselage, which on a typical mission is used to transport a squadron of 5 Cargodramon and 1 High Cargodramon. It is also capable of transporting a single Tankdramon by suspending wires beneath it when the cargo hold is empty. Suppression Strike is a special move that fires the Gatling gun attached to the front of its fuselage. This is used as a ground control measure while troops are being deployed. If a close combat situation arises due to unforeseen circumstances, Cargodramon can employ Slaughter Blade, which cuts opponents to pieces using the propellers on its wings. This maneuver may damage its propellers, and is only allowed to be used in emergencies. Don't forget there's a fan art project going on where they'll post your Digimon Seekers art on the official website, which is updated weekly. The only thing you have to do to participate is post your illustration on Twitter with the hashtags Digimon Seekers and fan art. See you next week, when Chapter 1.15 is released.